Hello and welcome to NewsClick. I'm Paranjoy Guha Thakurta. It is Thursday, the 7th of May, 2020. It's around 2:15 p.m. in the afternoon. And joining me from Visakhapatnam is Dr. E.A.S. Sharma. He was former Secretary to the Government of India. He was Secretary Economic Affairs in the Ministry of Finance. That was the last position he held as an officer of the Indian Administrative Service. And he's an activist. He's an activist today. Dr. Sharma, we have sketchy information, but the information that we have, if I can summarize there for you, at roughly 2:30 a.m. in the morning, there was a leak of styrene gas from the factory of LG Polymers, which is located roughly 14 kilometers from Visakhapatnam city in a village called Venkatpuram near Pendurthi. Now, this particular plant had been inactive for a while due to the lockdown, and when it was restarted, this gas leaked out. As of now, the information that I'm getting from various websites and news websites say that at least 13 people have been killed, including a child, and over 1,000 individuals have fallen sick. 800 of them were admitted to hospital, and about 600 have been discharged and 200 kept under observation. What is the latest information that you have from Vizag?
More or less the same information I have, because I watch the TV screens and the lockdown restrictions, so nobody can really go there. And whatever the government discloses, the police, the district administration, that's what we hear. But then to summarize, it's a very, very bad accident. There was a similar accident about 6-7 years ago, about 60 miles south of Visakhapatnam, one private chemical factory, and a similar gas explosion. And villagers in 4 villages ran away. At the time also, we protested. And we asked the government to take action against the promoters of that industry and the officers responsible for regulating industrial safety and pollution. No action was taken. So at the time itself, I said, since the government had not taken any action, such accidents are likely to repeat. So what we see today is a repetition, the occurrence of such an accident.
It's unfortunate. I'm going to get back to you on a few questions about LG Polymers and ask you a few questions based on the letter that you have written to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, and it's in the public domain. But before I ask you questions related to what you've written, I'm just giving you information that I picked up from news agencies in the recent past. Now, we had the Secretary to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, P.V. Ramesh. He was quoted by Bloomberg saying that they should not have restarted what was an old plant late at night. Maybe if it was done during the morning, some of this accident may have been averted. Now, this is an old plant. It was set up in 1961 as Hindustan Polymer, and it was renamed in 1997 as LG Polymers India, when there was a foreign direct investment from the South Korean-based multinational corporation called LG Polymers, LG Chemicals. LG used to be an acronym for Lucky Gold Star. But this is the information that we have. The Assistant Commissioner of Police, Swarupa Rani, she's the person who apparently first got to know about it at 4 a.m. in the morning. And she said there were 2 5,000-ton tanks that were left unattended, and as a result of which there was a chemical reaction. And the third bit of information that I picked up is from Srijana Gumalla, the Commissioner of the Greater Vizag Municipal Corporation, telling Reuters that about 1,500 persons have been evacuated from the venue. So this is bits and pieces of information that have come from official sources. Would you like to add to that?
This is highly speculative. I went through the documents which are available at the website of LG Polymers. And now there are, according to some information, the gas that has leaked is pentane. Pentane is a high calorific value carbon hydrogen molecule, which is actually a part of this cooking gas we use. So it is a very highly explosive gas. And this gas actually affects the eyes and the nose, the lungs, and the skin. So if you take excessive doses, people can choke and even die. It can be lethal. But then there are some people, some scientists with whom I have spoken. They say it could be styrene gas, which is much more poisonous. But I would much rather wait for a forensic examination of the whole thing, and then only we'll know the facts. But one thing I must say, in the last 5 years, as a citizen of Visakhapatnam, I have witnessed at least about 30 to 40 major accidents, industrial accidents. This happened in the north of Andhra Pradesh, Srikakulam, Vijayanagaram, Visakhapatnam districts. And every time workers lost their lives, the nearby residents were affected. And I have been asking the government to take action against the promoters of the industry for criminal negligence, management, senior management, and also the officers in the state government who are supposed to exercise surveillance, on industrial safety and pollution. But there has been no response whatsoever. And I would also say one thing: this is a time when the Ministry of Environment in Government of India has been rapidly, in a great deal of undue haste. They have actually started relaxing procedures for environment clearance for many of these drug companies, chemical industries, drug units, which is not prudent at all. And in the name of easing business, they are relaxing these procedures.
That's right. Ease of doing business. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Sarma, the information that's come to me is that this particular plant, LG Polymers, which is LG Polymers India, it was making polystyrene, which is a very versatile form of plastic. It's used for a wide range of products: fiberglass, latex, containers for food processing, laboratory ware, making blades of electric fans, cups and cutlery, containers for cosmetics, toys, all kinds of appliances. So it was clearly making a product which had a wide range of applications. The information that has come is that styrene, which is used in the production of polystyrene plastics and resins, has a colorless, sweet smell. And if there is an acute short-term exposure to styrene in human beings, it leads to mucus. It affects the mucous membrane, the eye irritation, gastrointestinal effects. There are risks of cancer, leukemia, and so on and so forth. We do not know whether this gas is as deadly as MIC, methyl isocyanate, which was the gas that was leaked out in December 1984 in Bhopal, which is often described as the world's biggest industrial disaster, the Union Carbide plant. And we know that at least 3,500 people died, and even today, over 100,000 people are supposed to be affected. We don't know whether this LG Polymers leak of gas, what its scale of it, but it clearly seems that we in this country do not seem to have learned the lessons of the past.
Absolutely. Because about 6-7 years ago, when there was a similar accident at one of these private chemical units south of Visakhapatnam, about 60 miles, we could have done a complete examination, identified the loopholes, and drawn lessons. But I don't find any such evidence anywhere. And every time there is an accident, they talk of a safety audit, but that safety audit report is not divulged to the public. There shouldn't be a public discussion on this. Now, I was surprised in this LG Polymers case from the documents I find that sometime around 2018 end or beginning of 19, the Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board, they've got an Andhra Pradesh State Environment Appraisal Authority. So this particular proposal to expand the unit and for producing engineering plastics, as they call it. So this unit, when the proposal went to the authority, there was a discussion and they said, no, this is a large unit. So this particular proposal should go to the Ministry of Environment. But subsequently, very surprisingly, the same Pollution Control Board issued 2 clearances to this particular company. One is a consent for establishment, CFE, and another, a consent for operation, CFO, with some conditions. Now, I'm really surprised as to why this particular proposal was not apprised by the Central Ministry of Environment. So it looks as though there was a lot of pressure on the Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board. They should have conducted a public hearing in that area, and they should have given all the details to the public. There's a residential area, number of villages are there, and after recording the objections of the people, their fears and all, they should have really, corrected incorporated some conditions for safety. That was obviously not done.
Okay.
So this is something which.
No, Dr. Sharma, in your letter to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Garu Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, you made it very clear that there was a dispute between this company which had a substantial investment from the South Korean parent. The words you use, it has been constantly pampered by successive governments. And you point out there was a dispute over land, whether that surplus land should vest with the government, and the company has engaged in litigation. And whenever the government has made an attempt to take back the land, and despite that, it's received all these approvals, as you rightly pointed out, for expanding its unit, expanding its manufacturing capacity. And as you rightly pointed out, despite many other similar accidents that have taken place, workers have lost their lives, civilians have lost their lives, but the promoters, those who are responsible for setting up that unit, the officials who are supposed to ensure safety, such people who obviously have a lot of support from from political people, from the politicians, they seem to have got away in the past scot-free, and I don't know whether they're also going to get away on this occasion as well.
Paranjoy, this is the case with almost every accident in this state, in this part of the state. This particular land, which I referred to in my letter, was actually land surrendered by a landholder and under the Andhra Pradesh Ceiling Surplus Declaration Land Act. That means this is actually declared as a surplus land and given to the government for using it for public purposes. So apparently at that time, almost about 15, 20 years ago, the government actually allotted this land to this particular company for an industry, and they call it a public purpose with some conditions. And these conditions were not fulfilled. So the government, I took it up saying that this government land, and they are not using it for any worthwhile public purpose. So the government should take back the land and allot it for a genuine public purpose. So the government actually tried to take over, and the company dragged them into litigation. And there were judgments and counter judgments, and the litigation was going on. And suddenly you find Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board, which is a state regulatory authority, consider this project. They don't even consult the state government, and they give clearances. So this looked as though, and this is the case with many industrial units in Andhra Pradesh, and I'm sure elsewhere in India, that these industrial houses, these promoters are pampered. And when they violate the law of the land, no action is taken. And very often there is a nexus between political parties and some of these industrial units, because election funding is probably provided by some of these companies, not this, but other companies. So it looks as though that the government has been very, very soft on many of these industries who are violating the environment laws. They're violating the human rights norms, and they're violating the law of the land in general. And no action is taken. I do not find a single promoter of any of these industries where accidents have taken place, a single promoter being prosecuted.
Or even the senior management, or even the officers who are responsible for industrial safety. As you have written in your letter, after the first phase of the lockdown, the recent lockdown after that was over, it appears that a NOC, or a no objection certificate, was granted to this company, LG Polymers, ostensibly on the ground that this was, quote unquote, an essential industry. Now, who says that this should be essential? And who is the government officer who should be held responsible for it? And then you allow, as you had earlier pointed out, sales of liquor to take place. And this is an area where a lot of people live. It's it is a populated area. And just because you are a foreign company, you have a South Korean investment in it, you are allowed to operate in what appears today to be a casual and a careless manner. And both the government of India as well as the Andhra Pradesh government seems to be complicit in this company, LG Polymers, apparently violating guidelines and rules.
Absolutely. In fact, I marked a copy of my letter to the Chief Minister, to Secretary in the Ministry of Environment in Government of India. Now you must know that pollution in principle reduces the immunity of the body, human body, to viruses and other diseases. So it's very ironic, very strange that South Koreans should supply rapid antibody testing kits on one side for fighting corona, and a company in which they have got investment, that an accident of this kind should take place, and all those who are exposed have become further vulnerable to corona. It's a very strange thing. And similarly, liquor sales, liquor consumption, according to World Health Organization, reduces the immunity of the human body. And during corona days, it is not advisable to allow liquor consumption to go up. So I wrote to the Ministry of Home Affairs. I said, in their guidelines, there is a mention that liquor shops and all that. I said, you're encouraging liquor consumption, liquor sales, but you should know that the World Health Organization said liquor consumption reduces the immunity of the human body to coronavirus. So there is absolutely no coherence in these kinds of guidelines. So in a way, probably, we are in the name of doing business, easing doing business, we seem to be endangering the lives of the people all around.
Well, Dr. Sharma, time alone will tell whether all the questions that you raised in your letter, whether we will find answers to these questions, whether people will be held accountable, what the adverse health impact on workers and people in the vicinity of that plant, whether proceedings under the Indian Penal Code will actually be instituted, whether there'll be heavy penalties imposed on the promoters of this company, and time alone will tell whether this particular disaster will go down in history as another disaster that should be compared to the world's biggest industrial disaster at Bhopal in 1984. I would certainly not hope for that to happen, but we'll have to wait and watch. And if there's anything else that you'd like to say before we sign off, I'll request you to make your concluding remarks.
Paranjay, I only hope that after a few months or after probably 1 or 2 years, we would not be discussing a similar accident taking place in this region of exactly the same dangerous proportion.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know a lot of people have been asking you to speak to them, and you've been very kind in speaking with me and with for the viewers of NewsClick. Thank you once again for being with us, and keep watching NewsClick.
And I may also add one more thing, Paranjay.
Please go ahead.
There are many coronavirus patients who, they are found positive, in the tests. So they are all put up in the hospitals, isolation wards last evening. So I know some families. Now, they are supposed to require all the services of the doctors and the auxiliary health workers, everybody. But this accident has diverted all the resources from the corona fight. Hospital space, ambulances, the worker services, everything has been diverted. So what kind of a penalty that should be imposed on not only damaging the health of the people, but creating such a havoc?
That's right.
This is something that we should.
It has severely strained a healthcare system which was already extremely strained. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharma, for speaking with us, and keep watching NewsClick. Thank you.